Oh boy, what a weekend. So I was watching the Qatar Grand Prix, and the sheer amount of penalties made it feel more like a football game. Brits crying over penalties didn't help with that feeling though. Anyway, let's go back to Formula 1's race control room during the Qatar Grand Prix. So, if you're not the average Drive to Survive fan, you probably noticed that Formula 1 has a new race director. The Portuguese
Rui Marques.
No way I'm pronouncing that. He's the second Portuguese race director we had in recent years. Remember...
Eduardo Freitas.
Yeah, that one. The dude that sent out a tractor on wet track while the cars were still driving at the Suzuka Grand Prix in 2022. That's him. It was second race after the Las Vegas Grand Prix. People thought he did a good job in Vegas, so nobody was really talking about him. I mean, of course he did a good job in Vegas, because Vegas was fucking boring. No, we need to see how he handles things when the real fun begins. Like his predecessor,
Nils Wittig.
in Brazil, where he waited with the virtual safety car until the McLaren swapped positions, or bringing out a questionable red flag during qualifying. And let me clear up a common misunderstanding. The race director is not the one who penalizes the drivers. He notes incidents and hands them over to the stewards. They are responsible for penalties. The race director's main responsibility, among other tasks, is the safety. Like bringing out a red flag, the safety car, virtual safety car, and all that stuff. That's part of what makes a race interesting. And this is basic F1 knowledge. We're not on Drive to Survive here. Alright now, let's have a look at the things that unfolded at the weekend. So much shit happened, I can't be asked to go through every contact and
incident.
So we'll just go through it randomly. The main character last weekend was, without a doubt, Albon's mirror, which flew off his car at around round 30 and was just chilling at the start-finish straight. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Albon has to drive with only one mirror in Abu Dhabi, considering how good the drivers are at destroying a car. And you gotta feel bad for the Williams mechanics here. They just can't seem to catch a break. And the worst part is that they didn't even get the chance to retreat the mirror because Bottas decided to run that fucking thing over and it shattered into a million pieces.
Brilliant. Nice move.
Maybe he was just jealous because the mirror got more screen time than he got the whole season. But how did the new great race director,
Rui Marques,
handle this awkward situation? Well, his initial plan was to let that thing lay around until the end of the race and hope that nobody overtakes there. At the only fucking possibility where you can overtake in this race. Great plan. Well, before Bottas' hate crime against Williams, there was a double yellow. I don't know if you saw it, there was a moment where it was switching between green and yellow like every second. Now I think that
Rui
was pressing random buttons and couldn't find the right one. But not only did he have a nervous breakdown, so did the tires of Sainz and Hamilton, when they decided to fucking explode in round 35.
Rui
Got lucky, found the right button and brought out the safety car. Now, as usual, Lewis was complaining a lot about the car. However, it looked as though he finally found some pace and was the fastest driver. Unfortunately for him, it was in the pit lane. Now, for your DTS elitists out there again, the normal pit lane limit is 80 km an hour, while he got caught with 92.5. Therefore, he got hit with a second penalty, a drive-through penalty. The first 5-second penalty was just a jump start. But my favorite moment from the race was when Lewis wanted to retire the car and Mercedes wasn't having it. Later, Mercedes told Lewis that he can retire the car, and guess what? He wasn't having it. Your goat, not mine. After everything calmed down, the stewards decided that they want to make the Constructors' Championship a bit more exciting and blessed Lando Norris with a 10-second stop-and-go penalty. Remember the double yellow flags I was talking about? Norris failed to slow down while chasing Verstappen, and Max snitched him hard. Now honestly, Lando deserved it. He has been a pain in my ass in the last month. But of course, my humble opinion isn't the reason for this decision. Let me educate you a bit about this topic. The short answer is, in 2014 at the Japan Grand Prix,
Jules Bianchi.
had an accident where he hit a tractor. This accident led to his death after several months in coma. And since then, the FIA doesn't play around when it comes to safety on the track. They follow the strict rules and don't show any mercy here, except for Eduardo in 2022, when he tried to replicate the story with another French driver, Pierre Gasly, on the exact same track. Now, you probably think that there was no danger besides some debris on the track, and you're probably right. So why did they decide to
In this man's whole career.
The steward stated that the official reason is Compliance with the yellow flag rules is paramount for the safety of all parties, and this requirement is clearly noted in the first item of the race director's event note at every event. So I'll break it down for you. You stupid idiot, why didn't you slow down under double yellow? This is the first thing they teach you in karting. But fuck all of that, because this race had something more shocking than all of the penalties. Sauber scored their first points. That's hopefully going to turn around this miserable season for them. But we all know who's gonna be even more happy than Sauber. The man of the hour, Zhou Guanyu. I'm just kidding, please don't kidnap me. Now anyway, while we're already talking about backmarkers, let's quickly analyze Checo's race. Yet again, phenomenal performance while he's still in F1. He managed to get overtaken by Colapinto at the sprint start. Nothing unusual, especially for him. However, they both started from the pit lane. But to really emphasize that his time in F1 is over, he decided to spin behind the safety car and blame the RB20. Now there were rumors that Red Bull gave him the option to retire with dignity. But if you ask me, they should have given him the Gasly Albon treatment a long time ago. But my man is still walking around the paddock and mentioning that he has a valid contract for the next season. Now, while Perez is busy beefing with journalists, his teammate is out there having real beef with Russell. Max got a one-place grid penalty after quali for driving too slow in front of George, while neither of them were on a push lap. I swear this is the first time that somebody got a penalty for that. These incidents never had consequences whatsoever. But I guess this was some kind of warm-up for the stewards. After the race, Max was asked to share his opinion on the penalty. And that's where shit got heated. Max decided to expose George in front of the media. He said that he has lost all respect for George and that he only acts nice, but in reality is completely different. You can't fool us, George. We know your true identity. Now apparently, Max said to George in the driver's waiting room that he can thank his FIA buddies. Now, if you ask yourself, why didn't Toto go crazy and defend his driver like he usually does? Well, I have a theory. Toto doesn't see true champion potential in George. Toto wants Max to drive for Mercedes, so he won't beef with him over such silly things anymore. His dream is the Verstappen-Antonelli lineup, and he'll sacrifice Osama for it, just like the USA did. Wait. So what was I talking about at the beginning of the video? Yeah, right. The point of the video was the FIA race control room. Alpine team chef Oliver Oakes dropped the following statement. He said, the race director did a great job. Now I don't know which race he was watching, but sure. Oh, and yeah, he dropped another thing. He dropped Ocon. Jack Doohan will be racing in Abu Dhabi. And I'm really happy for him. Nah, just kidding. I couldn't care less about him. But I'm glad that I can enjoy the last race of the season without the cringe champion Ocon.
Esti Besties on the podium, baby!
Now, I think that's enough for the Qatar Grand Prix. And by the way, we're new here, so drop a sub and like the video. Or else the FIA will penalize you. I miss Michael Mason, man.